This is Dominic Sicali. Breaking news.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about the rap star, Dominic the Donkey. If you guys like this content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, put it on all so you get all my videos. Got a lot of funny things to show you guys. Femme Fatale, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Kev, how are you? Thanks for joining me this morning. I appreciate you. Hello, all in this great community. Yes, I have great people that watch me. You know, we don't get the losers over here, and I'm glad for that. I'm very thankful. And I keep hearing that my name's been in some content creators' mouths lately. Well, that's great because I don't think about you. But it's understandable, you know, they would catch a little jealousy phase or whatever, but it will continue, I'm sure. But it's all good because it's mind over matter. Remember that. I don't mind because they don't matter. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Dominic the Donkey stealing his grandma's house. We're going to talk about him trying to extort Vinny Baciano's family. We're going to talk about his little rap career that he wanted to pursue. But it never got off the ground. But I want to ask you guys a question real quick. What is up with this shit? What is going on with the world today? So you got people kissing Michael Francese's hand. Weirdo shit. Weirdos. I'm telling you. It's like when you think you see it all, the fucking floor drops out from under you. It's hilarious. So there's been a post recently. Let's take a look. Turncoat Dominic Sicali, who sent Vinny Gorgeous away for life, allegedly extorted the Baciano family for $200,000. Turncoat wise guy Dominic Sicali, who bragged he put the nail in the coffin of his imprisoned for life former supervisor Vinny Baciano, also had another slick move for his old pal's family. He tried to extort $200,000 from them last summer, according to information that a private investigator provided the Manhattan U.S. District Attorney's Office. You're going back to prison, Dominic. I hope you can hold water or hold your rat juice. And I think EG Vodka is a shitty brand. That's my personal opinion. I think you guys are bullies, and I will never fold. So you could continue to try, do whatever you want. But this guy don't give a fuck about you. Now let's take a look at this. A debt? What the fuck is this, Dominic? Did you steal your grandma's house? Come on, you wouldn't do that. You're an upstanding guy, right? You wouldn't steal your grandma's house. Let's see if I can zoom in on this and read it for you guys. Pretty wild shit, though, if you ask me. Stealing his own grandma's house. It says, grandmother of the crime figure who says he forged papers that leave her Bronx home in jeopardy. At the age of 93, Madeline Sicali of Pelham Bay thought she would be living in the 2-story frame house that Mudford Avenue for the rest of her days. Now she's not so sure. The retired dressmaker claims that her gangster grandson, former Bonanno family member Dominic Sicali Jr., is responsible for being saddled with the nearly $100,000 in fraudulent obtained mortgage debt on her home. This came about, Madeline Sicali said, after her... Now, these are her own words. This is not me making this up. This is her talking to the newspaper. Remember that. I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. So this came about. Madeline Sicali said herself that her grandson obtained her forged signature on a loan application, which led to the debt she simply cannot afford to pay. Never in a million years would I have let him take out such a big mortgage, she said in an interview at her home last week, standing about 5 feet tall, with a look of bewilderment in her eyes. Madeline Sicali, divorced since 1976, described how she gets by on $700 monthly Social Security in income and about $1,100 in rent money from the upstairs tenant. She admitted signing for a separate rate mortgage to help her grandson on top of her existing mortgage. So she admitted to getting him an initial loan to help him out. But she didn't think that he would do this to her. But how she said she can't survive and make more than $2,000 a monthly mortgage payments required in all the loans. Although she borrowed from family to make these payments through February, Sicali said that she's facing possible loss of her home through foreclosure. There is no way she could pay what she owes, said daughter Nancy Sicali, 60. That must be his mom. Or it could be his aunt or something like that. The travelers of the elderly Bronx woman surfaced in the trial of reputed acting Bonanno crime boss Vinny Bassiano and Patrick DeFilippo, which is currently in jury deliberation in Brooklyn court. Dominic Sicali Jr., who pleaded guilty earlier this year to racketeering and is now cooperating with the government, admitted during testimony that he took out $280,000 in mortgage loans and lines of credit on Madeline Sicali's property. He also said that he had a woman at the Bronx mortgage company sign his grandmother's name to additional loan applications to secure by the Mudford Avenue property. Court record shows Chicali claimed to have paid property taxes, made loan payments until his arrest, February 2005, for racketeering, according to court papers. But Madeline Chicali, interviewed in the presence of her daughter, said parts of her grandson's testimony were untrue and that it was she who was paying for the property taxes and the mortgage. I have paid the taxes, Madeline Chicali said, showing the reporter copies of canceled tax payment checks. Bassiano's defense attorney, Barry Levin, attempted to call Madeline Chicali as a witness to impeach the testimony of Dominic Chicali Jr., whose father, Dominic Chicali Sr., Madeline's son, is in jail facing federal drug charges. That's the permanent testimony. In here is Dominic Chicali Jr., who lied on the stand, Levin said, during the hearing before Judge Nicholas Garuffis. He never paid the lady's property taxes. He committed identity theft. But Assistant U.S. Attorney Greg Andreas in court papers said the testimony about Madeline Chicali's dispute with her grandson can't be admitted under rules of the evidence. It threatens to turn the trial of guilt or innocence of both defendants of the crime alleged in the indictments into a mini trial on the financial dispute between the two sides of the Chicali family, said Andreas. And that's pure bullshit. They should have let the grandma testify. Grafas agreed with Andreas and said that Madeline Chicali's testimony would extrise the evidence. The total indebtedness of the home amount is $389,000. Wow. $100,000, said Madeline and Nancy Chicali. Though Madeline Chicali said she only consented to her grandson putting about $60,000 in loans. Records in Manhattan Federal Bankruptcy Court indicated somehow she agreed to a mortgage in March of 2002, $289,000. And some of the money was to go to Dominic's mother, Linda Chicali. An additional mortgage, Wachovia Bank, not available, of $100,000 in May of 2002, allegedly obtained with Madeline's forged signature. She stated in court papers filed in connection with the bankruptcy petition filed by Linda Chicali. In her bankruptcy court papers, Linda Chicali, Madeline's daughter-in-law, denied committing fraud or playing any role in forging Madeline's signature. She said Madeline Chicali attended the mortgage closing. Court papers stated. Ira Claire, Madeline Chicali's attorney, said that she had filed special petition in the bankruptcy court involving Linda Chicali to get a $100,000 mortgage reinstated. He said that Wachovia isn't seeking to enforce the debt. Her kindness got her into signing for trouble she is in now, said Claire. It was made worse by this fraud. That is a very sad situation that he would do that. Crazy. Can you imagine? Damn, we got a lot of people in the house. Shout out to everyone that takes the time to watch this show. I appreciate you. Kev, how are you? Maureen, what's going on? Salvatore, William. And EG is a shitty brand. That's my thoughts. I just think that. And remember, this show is pure satire for entertainment purposes only. But I don't think people should be promoting things that are troublesome to young kids. Patrick, what's going on? Grandma too. Insane. Now it's bad enough that he does all that, right? And he's on the side of the defense at first with Vinny Baciano and all that. They're fighting the case. And then he turns on them all, including the lawyer. And we have a little clip of that right here.
Leave Dominic Cicali. The ultimate irony, of course, was the fact that I was representing Dominic Cicali before he flipped after John's first trial. And Dominic Cicali, I had to leave the case. Dominic Cicali couldn't pay me.
Hey, the Bronx.
Ends
What's
up
up,
flipping.
man?
Not only flips against me, flips against all of his friends, flips against John.
Profits for life. How are you? Bobo Comp. What's going on?
It goes into the witness protection program. And years later, I'm sitting in my office, the phone rings, and my secretary says, Dominic Cicali's on the phone.
And this is Dominic Cicali.
I'm like, what? Pick up the phone, it's Dominic, he's getting ready to leave jail, you know, in a secret location he's at. And he says, listen, I know you represent all these rappers, which I did, The Game, Fat Joe, a few others, and I want to become a rapper when I get out of jail.
And not to mention, Dominic sucks at rapping. He should never, ever try to do that again. It's really cringeworthy, and we're going to take a listen in a minute. Steve B, what's up? Tommy, how are you? Thank you. Bill Staxx, I like your show. I like your style. Thank you. I appreciate that. He swapped out those pearls on her neck. He had some plastic pearls put in her place while she was sleeping. Like whores at the casino, take your watch. It's crazy, man. Too soon to become a capo? Is it? You think he could go back into the life? Probably. With the way the mob is now, they could probably all get reinstated. I wouldn't be surprised. Michael Francis says, look at this shit. He's got people kissing the knuckle. Kiss the knuckle, motherfucker. You can't make this shit up. You can't. Another thing. Dominic Cicali claims that he's this killer, right? This mafia killer. He's a mafia junkie. He said that he was facing life, that he was charged with first-degree murder. He got manslaughter. He did 17 months. Now, if you get charged with manslaughter, how do you do 17 months? How do you only do 17 months off 7 years? Can anyone make sense of that to me? Future Banano family fake captain Dominic Cicali is released from prison in Florida after 17 months after he was sentenced to 7 years for manslaughter. And we have all the details in that case. Another thing, I have a witness. I have a witness who's going to come on my show, and he's going to explain. MC Rat-A-Lot. Firefox, what's going on? Thanks for joining me. I got a witness to all of this shit when it was taking place, right? He's going to come on the show. Matter of fact, I'll call him right after I'm done. And he knows some inside information about Dummy Dom here. You know, let's finish watching that video. Nikki the Saint, good stuff. Staxx, expose these scumbags, 100%. I'll never stop. You can keep calling lawyers, do whatever they want. It ain't ever gonna happen.
You to represent me. I'm like, are you aware that you cooperated against me and against John, and you really could have ruined my life. This is the selfishness and the stupidity of the typical government cooperator. I was like, no.
Yeah, he should hit up Diddy for a contract. He should.
Letter after letter I'd received from Dominic Sicali. I'm like, I'm not your lawyer. I'm not your lawyer. Letter after letter, can you help me? Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, you cooperated against me.
What's going on? Why?
We bumping hard, heavy, ready, willing, and able.
All right, so this is the changed man who testified, right? Now he's bumping, ready, willing, and able. He ain't no gangster. He's just living a fable.
No.
We bumping hard, heavy, ready, willing, and able. Mafia round table, all truth, not fable. Turn the table, can't beat me, 10 steps ahead. Haters wanna hate, see me dead. Jam one more time, jam one more rhyme. Putting down, throwing down that bag of lime. Taking no prisoners, lyrical, verbal assault. Flow endless, so is this vault. Left the mob, world knows. Mobsters that are left, they a bunch of hoes.
So he's saying that mobsters that are left out there are all a bunch of hoes, and he's the real gangster. Real gangsters don't rap. Real gangsters do their time when it's time to do time. They don't cooperate with the government. This guy is fucking delusional. Let's take a look at Sickly Dom.
Really. And if you want to go back and forth with me, we go back and forth all day long. Call me a rat, a snitch. But you know what? I put my work in.
Yeah, he put his work in on his grandma. On his grandma, in her own words. He sure did put his work in, huh? Dominic Sicali is the lowest of the low. Up there with Mikey Scabs. Anthony Areola. All of them. They're all trash bags.
Never back down from anybody.
Yeah, you did. You backed down from me, pussy.
So, you just really, you just, in my eyes, what you just did, you're a piece of shit.
I've been called words went better. We all know who he's talking about, right? Fathead.
So, I'll answer some questions. Folks, we're coming out February 14th. February 14th will be our year anniversary.
Yeah,
rest in peace. My condolences to his family. I love the guy. Never spoke about him. But we have a lot of stuff that will be coming out soon. So, stay tuned for that. February 14th, we will be live coming out. And I might have somebody on the show too. Boy, we'll go back into it. Moji boy. David, thank you.
We all know who he's talking about, right? Who he was going to have on the show. Here, let's take a look at that. I got that too. Now, Dominic's going to end up going back to prison because him and his partner there, Joe Barone, admitted to committing crimes that they didn't tell the government. Let's take a listen.
And Dominic Sicali. It's like Mutt and Jeff, Tom and Jerry, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello. Here we are. We're coming at you live. Not live, pre-recorded, though. Joe, thank you for coming on. Pleasure having you as always. And Joe, thank you. Joe, today I would like my viewers, the listeners, since you and I basically are partnering up, we're back together again, which I love you dearly as a brother, always did, always have. I want my viewers to know about you, Joe Barone, how you grew up, what made you decide to take the life in the streets, because you have many talents that people don't know about. You could sing really well.
Carlos, what's up? Yeah, you both could sing very well. You both are pretty good singers. Anthony Areola ratted on everyone, and now he walks the streets of Boston like nothing happened. No, he doesn't walk the streets of Boston. No. The streets of Springfield. Springfield's responsible for that, not Boston. Boston would not tolerate that, trust me. He'd be in a fucking trunk somewhere.
You're a funny guy. You have a lot of charisma. And what made you choose the streets? You could sing really well.
You can sing very well.
You're a funny guy. You have a lot of charisma. And what made you choose the streets? So why?
Thanks for joining us, Carlos.
Then afterwards, you were cooperating with the feds for 21 years out there. Now, I don't know if you ever wore a wire. You never wore one on me. These are things I want to ask. I want the people to know what made you decide.
Listen close, because Dummy Dom here admits that they committed crimes that they didn't tell the government about. They failed to tell the government about each other. So I think they're going to end up locked up, both of these guys. Dominic's already his foot's already in prison. One foot in prison, the other on a banana peel.
Why didn't you ever burn me out there? These are questions I'll have later on into the show. Thank you again for coming on, and let's hear your life story. What happened, or your growing up. These are things I don't even know.
I love you too, and I thank you for having me on. And I went in there was
the junior FBI agent here. He wanted to become a junior FBI agent to find out who killed his daddy. And that never happened. He never got any answers. But that's the reason to his, I know, what was the reason for his love affair with Dominic?
this guy Rosenberg, the AUSA, one of the guys that I did wind up working with my whole time I was cooperating, and my attorney, and maybe one other FBI agent. So I looked at my attorney and I said, what's going on? And I told you, I'm not talking to these people. He says, hold on a minute. I said, you mind if I have a minute? They gave me a minute with him, and they said, you got nothing to do, listen to what they got to say. So I did. They came in, and they said, hey, Joe, we wanted to ask you some questions and stuff. And I listened, just like Vic told me to do.
2 mutts right here. Really, these guys are the worst. Right next to Mikey Scabs. This guy, Mr. Sandwich Maker. Yes, I did make sandwiches. Yes, I did. The guy that ran the Gambino family with his fucking henchmen over there. But this was reality. 2 little mob rats jumping on the bed. One fell down and broke his head.
Right.
And then the whole thing that really got me there was, I didn't know this, Dominic. They showed me a stack of photos about this high. And it was the cemetery where my father was.
Okay.
And then they showed me the pictures of him. They dug him up, and they did an autopsy on him.
The feds dug him up. The feds dug him up, Joe.
The feds dug him up, yeah.
The feds dug him up, Joe. The feds dug him up, Joe. Freddie Giaz and his brother Ty were more stand-up than 90% of these wise guys. Never ratted. Allegedly, he said bye-bye to Mr. Bulger. Yeah, these guys can't walk the streets of fucking Boston. No fucking way. Boston's a real deal, man. There's some real stand-up guys out in Boston. They don't tolerate that type of shit. Springfield does. And Tampa. Tampa accepts rats.
That he had gotten permission, I think, from my family. I had no idea of this. That they can exhume the body.
Right.
So the last time I saw my father, he had a...
Take your time with it. So I know it's hard for you going back. Thank you, And I can always jump in because, I love to talk, so.
Yeah, you both love to talk. Hey, damn it, Mandy. What are you doing here? Shout out to Mandy. Thank you for joining me.
No, they dug him up and they saw him dead on the slab on a table.
Okay.
He had the K on his face and he had a scar here, like a V scar and going down.
That's where they did the autopsy then, the original autopsy, correct?
In Honduras, yes,
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Right.
So,
Dominic's like, don't worry, this is pure content for me. I don't care that you're crying on my channel. Just make sure I get all this content. This guy's ridiculous, man.
sorry, pal.
No. Take your time. Take some water, drink some water. Nothing to be sorry about. Just for the viewers out there, the kids, this is what the life is about. You know, it's hard. And Joe is a gangster, a thug.
No, he's not. Neither one of you are gangsters. You're not. Support the channel if you can. Chatting with Staxx. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very close. Hold on.
A businessman, and yet, you know, we all have feelings. We all have emotions out there. So, you know, it just, it hurts. It hurts.
You don't have feelings. Shut up.
Since I have to do it all over again, this is my gift from David. He gave me a fish in law. That's when we hit 20,000. I received it in the mail. Thank you so much. I love it. And you know what? The funny part, I felt like the Sopranos with Big Pussy, the fish that sang. So, but thank you so much for the gift. It's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, he felt like the Sopranos because you're not a gangster. You're a fucking fake. You're fraudulent. You're a fraudulent even friend. You're not even a good friend. You turned on your little fathead friend down there in Pennsylvania.
Thank you, David. And again, my condolences to Chloe. Pretty tough. Makes no sense at all. Government's not going to take an indictment off, especially if they have your own bodies. TG never killed anybody in his life. Okay, that's a fact. If he ordered Junior, I don't know. Those are things I don't know.
You know what they're gonna do though, Dom? They're gonna rip up your agreement. That's coming soon. Don't worry. You and your friend there, Joe Barone, are gonna be sitting in shackles next to each other, and we'll see if you guys can hold up to your gangster code then. Because you failed to tell the government about crimes you guys committed.
You made a reference that, oh, Joe Messina could have buried me. Really? You don't think Joe Messina would have? He buried Vinny. Buried myself. He's going to save you? Like you're this god in the Mafia? Come on. Anyway.
He was higher ranked than you were. He had more respect than you did. This guy's so jealous of Hector Pagan. He's so jealous. Listen to the jealousy in his voice.
It's just a joke. It really is a joke. So let me just put this on
Rats hating on other rats. It's hilarious.
silent. There we go. But folks, just so you know too, I'm back. Had just recovering, taking it easy. I was 24 hours away from dying. In the hospital 6 days. They had me on liquid diet. I lost like 20 pounds. But I'm starting to feel better. I'm about 80%. I'll be back in the gym
Coleslaw.
next week. And that's it.
Knocking them down one by one, using this platform, not a gun. Feel me, hear this flow, ready to go, stacking the dough. Now you know how we roll. Force, boss, stay in the course. Pushing this horse, not a horse, but the horse from the Porsche.
This guy is the biggest cat in the hat rapper I have ever heard in my fucking life. With a knife. Let me say it twice. Yeah, you can't make this shit up.
Killing the source, ignite a passion from deep within. Inferno intensifying, words spewing. What the fuck you doing? Stuck in a state of bliss. Never seen this coming, these bullets don't miss. Bang, bang, you in a critical condition. From this mic fired, rapid dissing. Life support system, your only hope. Now you hear my shit, fentanyl, dope. Wake up, can't beat someone you never understand.
Fentanyl dope. You dope. I'll hang you from a rope. This guy needs hooked on phonics. Didn't work for Dom.
I'm the true gangster man that don't give a damn. Reality version, Matrix Reload, now you see. Deep down, you wanna be me.
He's gonna reload and go take his grandma's home.
Feel this wrath, this is my aftermath, not M and Dre, they legends. I'm a certified killer, not MJ's thriller. Fuck no, I'm that killer dilla. Skullsy just went old school. Hardcore BX fool. My time to shine after Fat Bastard wired up, dropping that dime. Fuck this shit, need I say more? Enough for one day. The Dapper Don still don't play. Peace out. Mafia Roundtable all the way. Peace out.
So, just coming back. Survival. Like I tell everybody, the guy upstairs and the guy downstairs, neither one of them want me yet. Like,
oh, you're going downstairs. Don't worry. You're going to be in lockup really soon. You and your buddy Joe Barone. Admitting to crimes you committed. Wow, like that you didn't tell the government about. How ironic. And then you come on YouTube and admit it. That's the funny thing.
Like, F him, leave him where he's at. It hurts, and it just happens, but just...
I was pretty much like on my own. So but back in those days, they used to give you a K5 letter.
In the life. And you know, with me, mum was the word, like...
Yes.
I always...
And that's why I did what I did. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or anything, because I know what loyalty is about, because as you said, there's some things that will probably come up later on about us.
Yeah, there's going to be some stuff to come up about you and your buddy. Let's see if they could really fight that case. I'd like to see him fight that case. I mean, they admitted to it. They admitted to holding back information from the government to benefit themselves, to not rat on certain people. I didn't know you can pick and choose when you cooperate. Is that how it works there, Joe Barone?
Also, how things I didn't say about you or whatever, and also other guys in the street I had met that said to me, Joe, you protected me.
What? Did you hear what he just said? Let's rewind that back just in case you missed it.
Well, because as you said, there's some things that will probably come up later on about us, and also, how things I didn't say about you or whatever, and also other guys in the street I had met that said to me, Joe, you protected me. It wasn't like I was trying to, there was, after I met you and everything and how close we got, and I was also close to a guy, Jerry Chili, like I told you in my last episode.
No, you weren't. You weren't close to Jerry Chili, you liar.
There's some people you just really meet and you connect with.
Right.
And I will never do anything. And then there's some people that they have that connection with you, but they'll get you. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so I was cooperating then. So I think I cooperated. It might have been a total of 18 years, maybe 20 years total.
Wow. Okay. Were they paying you at all?
Never wore a wire.
Were they? Oh, you never wore a wire on anybody.
Never, and anyone. Matter of fact, I have FBI reports at one time. I'll show you another time if you like. How accurate my information was.
That's Joe Barone, Darren. Joe Barone. One of the biggest mafia rats out there. He was cooperating for 20 years, trying to find out who killed his daddy. And he never found out. He got his little junior FBI badge, and he went out on the street, cooperated against a whole bunch of people, but not Dominic. He spared Dominic, and they admit to this shit on video that they committed crimes together and they spared each other. You believe that?
Right. Were they paying you anything? Did they give you expense money?
What they did was they would reimburse me if I spent money, but they never gave me money like to do a job or anything.
Got it.
Now listen to this. They also admit to lying to the government about how much money they spent. He says, "Oh, so when we went to the strip club, you said we spent $50,000. What?
I spent a few $100, a couple $1,000, whatever. They said, okay, I was allowed $100,000 a year. I found out.
Oh wow! So you're telling me when I took you with me to the strip club, you told them that you spent $50,000?
Let's laugh about it. That's funny. That's funny. You defrauded the government for their money.
So she says, and later that night I fell asleep. Yeah, no, definitely.
Like that, even when we were talking about, there's some things we talked about that nobody even knows still, and not at the FBI, and I don't think I've ever told a living soul.
What? You hear that? Did you just hear that? Here's another admission right there. Let's get back to that.
The beginning, right away.
Yeah, I felt that way too. Did you think like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to tell on this guy, I'm gonna have to give information? Knowing I was a street guy, did you ever feel that way?
Never.
He was gonna hold the information back from the FBI regardless of what happened.
No, I never I didn't even thought about it like that. Even when we were talking about, there's some things we talked about that nobody even knows still, and not at the FBI, and I don't think I've ever told a living soul. Something we talked about, still to this day. But we'll get into that too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then I recalled the next time I saw you, if you recall, I was being released from county jail in New Jersey. Because my former wife passed a comment or made a false allegation.
Definitely not a false allegation.
Matter of fact, let me back up. This way everybody understands the story.
Right.
It was my birthday.
All right, here comes the lies. Let's hear the lies from Dummy Dom.
Later that night, I fell asleep. All of a sudden, I felt a presence over me. It's about maybe 12 o'clock at night. I had to get up for work in the morning. And she's standing over me with, you remember the flip phones, right?
Yeah.
She has my flip phone. It was a Star Trek phone, like Star Trek.
He says that his wife thought that he was having an affair with his cousin. Listen to this shit.
So she says, who does this bitch think she is calling you? What does she want to have sex with you? I'm tired of this. And I'm like, I'm in a grog. I'm like, who? She plays the message and I hear, here, brat, just calling to wish you a happy birthday. And she thought it was my cousin Nancy and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She snaps the phone. One thing led to another. She came at me with a knife. I get it out of her hand. She calls the cops. She wants me out of the house. I say, I'm not leaving. They lock me up for the O.J. Simpson law. I go to jail. I'm released. Vinny sent somebody to bail me out.
He shouldn't have. Vinny should have never dealt with this guy ever. He should have stayed far away from him. I get bad vibes even looking at this guy. You could tell he's no good. Look at him. Ain't that right, Dominic?
Bail. I'm released and you came to get me with all my clothes. We went to the house and then we went back down to the Bronx. And then for the viewers who don't know this, she recanted everything in court. Said,
yeah, because you beat her ass.
It never happened. The judge was upset. They dismissed all charges and I never went back to her based on the fact. How could you not only call the cops on me?
The mumbling hitman.
Even with my cousin and we were brother and sister. And to make matters worse, I don't know if you know, my cousin that left the message was her sister Michelle. It wasn't even Nancy Ann, and she thought it was she thought it was Nancy Ann. Yeah.
But it's the whole, when you just said to me now, I remember when you got locked up for that, and then we were like, what the hell is this girl saying? Yeah. You remember my car? I only had a 2-door Mercedes.
Yes.
Every clothes you had, I couldn't even see that besides windows.
Yeah, that you love those Mercedes, those big old.
Hey, they set themselves up. They admitted to holding back information from the FBI when they cooperated about each other. They didn't let the FBI know about each other. They didn't tell them everything. So you know what that is? That's a breach in their contracts. They made agreements, cooperation agreements, and they lied. So that's a huge breach in their contracts. I don't know how Dominic was able to get away with lying on the Bassiano trial when he stole the money from his grandma's house. And they wouldn't let that into evidence to show that he's not a credible person. Maybe they will on the retrial, because they're not going to use him again. His ass is going to prison soon. If you guys didn't know, Mafia turncoat who sent Vinny Gorgeous away for life allegedly extorted the Vinny Bassiano family for $200,000. Turncoat wise guy Dominic Sicali, who bragged that he put the nail in the coffin of his imprisoned for life former mob superior, Vinny Gorgeous Bassiano, also had another slick move for his old pal's family. He tried to extort $200,000 from them last summer, according to information from a private investigator provided the U.S. Manhattan Attorney's Office. You are fucked, Dominic. Good luck with that one.
80s, you had a few of them.
Yeah, exactly. I think I had 4 of them, but yeah, it was. I couldn't even see, but we got you out of there though.
Yes, you did. And then from there, you and I got even closer because at one point I was basically living with my cousin until I found a place. I went to my mother's house, my cousin's house, bouncing around.
Yeah, and then you went to your grandma's house and robbed her
for like a month until I moved into Vinny's mother-in-law's rental house on Sherry's Avenue, but we got really, really close within a short period of time. We hit it off.
Well, remember too.
Yes, Tina, he's in deep shit. He has no idea what's coming. The feds are going to be locking him up very soon. He's done. They think that they could commit crimes because they worked for the government. They think they're above the law. They can do anything they want. Well, I got news for you, buddy. You're going to have a fun time in prison.
Out there,
don't drop the soap, Don.
Respect we have for each other. You remember you had to go with Vinny and to down, I don't know if you were going to Rails that night, and you had nobody to go, and you said, Joe, would you mind if I take Nancy in?
Gene currently applying Vaseline to Sammy to make a few bucks for the new luggage. From what I hear, Stevie B. The snitching is in their blood. Hey, from the words of the great Fat Andy Ruggiano, rats aren't made, they're born, just like his son. Rats are not made, they're born. And Tonto is back. Don't fuck with Tonto. He'll steal your fucking jewelry and rock it. The greatest jewel thief of Tampa, Florida. Matter of fact, Bill Staxx will be in Tampa, Florida very shortly. So stay tuned for that. I got a road trip to go on very soon. You guys will see. I'm bringing you along with me.
Yeah.
When you asked me.
Wow, what a good memory. Actually, it was Vinny and his wife, Angela, Bruno and his wife, Kathy Burke.
Okay.
And I had nobody because I just came down to the Bronx. I says, you know, I didn't want to feel like the fifth wheel. So my cousin Nancy joined me. And listen, between Vinny and Bruno, they broke my balls left and right. Oh, don't worry, you're kissing cousins. You're kissing cousins.
What?
I'm like, you know what, guys, go F yourselves. You know, but they were breaking my chops left and right. But
they should have never dealt with you in the first place, dummy dom.
And I never thought like that. I said,
right.
Hey, you guys go. Get out of here.
On them. So, and it's funny, Hector, I'm going to go back into it. Hector talks about help.
I'm gonna go back into Staxx. Can you fit me in your luggage? I need a vacay in Florida. Yeah, I could cram you in the luggage. Wait till you see how I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be riding in style.
Helping kids. He's tired of people talking on the internet. Helping kids. You just caught a case. You're out a hot minute. You just came home from jail. You're still on probation. You're out a hot minute. Really? You're gonna be a role model for kids.
And you're gonna be a role model for kids, Donkey Dom? None of you guys are role models for kids. You guys should all be locked in a cage and thrown in the ocean.
A garbage pail like you. If you're, folks.
A rat calling another rat a garbage pail. It's so funny.
If you're incarcerated and you're doing pills he did more pills. If I took those pills one night, I would have an overdose.
You look like you had an overdose. Look at you, dummy Dom.
My system's clean. That's how much medication he was on. If you're on that stature, if you have to live like that, what are you going to do on the street? You're not going to go to the oxycodines. You're not going to sniff. Listen, all the guys he was with were using drugs. So he was just known as a drug addict. And that was it. So let me answer some questions again. Hector was on the streets from the 90s, 2006. I think you had no run-ins with him. Yeah, Xavier. No, I didn't.
So how do you know him then, Dom? If you're you saying like that you know this guy, how? If you didn't have no run-ins with him, how do you know him at all? How do you know what you're saying?
But I'm sure Renee's gonna come on James Cole's show, so you can watch that.
I spoke to Renee, and she said that the guy that he's talking about is trash. Her kid's father. She really didn't want to talk about it. And Pink Panther, how are you? Maureen, Salvatore, what's going on? Dean, what's good, man? Thanks for joining me this morning. Darren, Tina. She doesn't really want to get into it and bash her kid's father online, you know. She just wants to move on with her life, basically. But Hector Pagan is trash too. Just as bad as Dominic the Donkey. Dominic's pretty bad though. He stole his grandma's house.
And you know what? I have things with Lee Cole that I don't care for. Never once did he come back. And you know what?
Shut up.
To Bernstein, to Weinstein, to Heinstein, to all of them out there. Nobody ever put work in. Can't talk shit. You can only speculate. You could sit back. Because of people like me, Scars, Daylight, Gene,
Scabs, Gene, the door knocker. Yeah, he put work in all right. The banana hitman.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door.
And whose card is on file here?
Yours. But I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix the door for you.
So if I get charged for this,
you're not being charged.
I'm suing you. I'm taking you to court.
I'm fixing it.
Wow.
I'm gonna fucking murder you, bitch. You watch. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking scumbag. You do that to me. You're a fucking piece of shit, bro.
Because you're wearing Ric Flair's stolen jewelry and I told them?
That's not. You're a piece of shit, bro. You're a fucking piece of shit.
So now you're threatening to murder me.
You're a fucking piece of shit. I did that to you. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? How do you do that to somebody you care about?
And then they're laughing about it. Don't worry, there's a lot more to come on that story too.
Hey, Sammy. That's the only reason why you guys are on here. Because of us, guys like us. Without us,
Shut up, Marble Mouth.
He's another one. Like always, always. And you know what? Junior was a nice guy. He is a nice guy. Seemed like it. The time I spent with him, we spent about a year.
He just said he had no dealings with him. Now he's saying he does. These guys can't get their lives together.
Over a year. And, nice guy, but it is what it is. He wasn't confrontational with anybody, just liked his meds. He told him you had coke, heroin, he'd be doing it. That's just the way it is. So, Cornbread says, Jeff Nadeau likes BS. Jeff Nadeau is BS.
Oh, looks like there's trouble in paradise, huh?
Coke, heroin, he'd be doing it. That's just the way it is. So, Cornbread says, Jeff Nadeau likes BS. Jeff Nadeau is BS. After what he pulled tonight, and I told him, so you're going to rat? You're going to rat.
Like you did.
Talk about rats, but now you're going to rat. Wow, he got sensitive because I played his voice. That's copyright infringement. So you know what? I took it down.
Took it down because you're a bitch. That's why. But listen, it ain't over. Don't worry. I'm just getting started with these trash bags. I hope you guys like this content. I got something special for you guys later. You'll see what I'm up to. And I'm putting together a clip of the movie that I was in. I'm going to put together a clip. I'm going to talk to the director, put together a montage of some things to show you guys. And it's incredible, some of the footage. And I'm going to talk to him and see if we can get it going. But I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. If you want to help out, you can donate through the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx. Right there. A link is in the description of this video. And we don't care about other people and what they say. That's going to be good. Definitely is. Were him and Nadeau chummy at a time? Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were butt buddies. If you guys want to donate to the show, you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good shit. And I appreciate every single dollar. Even a dollar goes a long way. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's a little rainy out, but we're going to make the best out of this weekend. And I'll see you guys later on today. I'm going to go live, and I got some shows I'm going to drop. JC from Wrong to Strong. And I got another one. I think Miano. There's another Miano video. So I hope you guys like this. And if you don't, too bad. Start your own podcast. Just remember, don't be a bitch.